Alright, so one of the parts that was missing on this van is the actual cover that sort of sits in here, which is like the sunshade cover. It's got its own separate tracks in the rails here, so I've had to construct these little brackets. So they're just pieces of aluminium. They're actual angled aluminium, and I'll show you the main piece. So the bottom sort of hooks into where the rail is, and then these attach to the main frame, so that will all slide along there nicely. On the actual inside, I put in some of the, it's like a dust seal that you use for doors. It's like little fuzzy, one side's sticky, the other side's fuzzy, and then that sort of sticks in there to make it a bit smoother. Now I'll just show you the actual main frame. So I've constructed the frame using angled pieces on the edge, and then these are flat pieces. I had to sort of bend and get the right curvature in each of them. And the actual plastic part here, it's like a material which is plastic on both sides, and then it has a layer of foam on the inside. So it's very easy to cut just with a craft knife or a Stanley knife. And I purchased this stuff from Bunnings. It's about $40 a sheet, but it's very easy to work with, and it is flexible for the curves. So on the other side of it, these curves line up nicely with where it needs to sit in. So this just needs to be covered with felt now. I should have filmed the whole process, but it sort of just made a start on it and then just got carried away and just wanted to get it finished. But it's actually looking better than what I thought it would. So the next stage now is to fit the handle. With the handle, I just got this off the internet, 3D printed. So I think it's actually for a Ford Festiva or a Ford Focus. Cut the hole, and then that will fit in there like that. So the next stage now is just to get the felt on it. Okay, so I have got the felt stuck to it. What I used is just a fabric adhesive to apply it there, so that gets applied to both sides, the surface and then the back of the fabric, and then that sticks down. And then just sort of just smoothed it out. And then I've got to sort out these edges. That edge on the curved edge will be trimmed. And you won't see any of the edges anyway. See, that one I might even just fold over. Fold that edge over. And this edge here will be trimmed. Alright, I just want to add some felt to the top of the shade structure. So the felt on the bottom, that's all glued on nicely. Looks good. The way I'm going to do it, just for this part with the handle, is it'll just sort of just go over it. I was going to trim it and make a nice section, but I think I'll just cover it over. And I just want to show you the aluminium strip I used for the part that slides in the rail. So the L shape on there, that'll be too big to fit into the rail, so you need to sort of trim it down. You can sort of see just the markings on there. Yeah, so the bottom edge here, sort of just trim that bit down there, and then it fits in nicely. I'll show you the original. So this part here, that's the original, the slider thing that, you'll see there's a bit of an L shape on that, and then that is what fits into the actual rail. So the rail just up here, so that sort of slides in there like that. So the pieces that I've created work in a similar way. Okay, so here's the finished product. So that's got the felt on the top side now. And I'll just show you the underneath. The important part here is where the handle is. So that does hump up a bit, but that's just how it has to be. And then there's the handle there. Okay, I'll just get it installed. Alright, so that's what it looks like when it's installed. And I'll put these, like the clip mechanisms, back in. They sort of go, there's a little hole there for that to line up to. The other thing I need to figure out is the mechanism which attaches to this section in here. So when the glass opens up, it pulls this cover with it. But for now I'm going to leave that until I figure out how to do it. But that's what it looks like. Okay, so the next job to tackle is the front sunroof shade. So the issue of this is that the rails need replacing because it's very hard to move everything. They don't stay aligned. Alright, so from the top view you can sort of see that the runners, the plastic is all degraded, disintegrated. The actual panels themselves seem okay. It's just the rails that we need to change. Alright, so in order to get to all of them panels, we need to remove all this the trim from the interior, the roof liner. So the whole front section, I'll have to probably undo this piece here from the back and then just lower this whole entire section. There's a few different plastic caps. Some of them have got screws underneath, but we'll figure that out as we go. And then also the sunroof controller, just unscrew that. Alright, so this part is a bit tedious because you've got a couple of bolts in there to undo, because you can't just take this plastic cover off, undo them 2 bolts first, and then once those bolts are out, this piece just rests down. Just need to do these ones now. Took off the sun visors and everything around there. Alright, so I got most of it out. It's just still slotted into the back there, but I think just maneuver it forward, then the whole thing should just drop out. It's just so old and rotten. Lots of it is just sections are just falling apart, but that can be reinforced and re-glued. Alright, so to remove the actual shade sections out, it seems like there are just a few screws that hold it in. One there, another one here, a couple at the front over here. I'll try and just get them 6 out, and then that whole frame section should all just come out as one piece. We'll give that a go. Alright, so this is what the unit looks like when you've taken it out. I've got some replacement rails, got these 3D printed. I didn't do these myself because I've got my 3D printer will not fit something that large. These have been printed with ABS plastic, so heat resistant, UV resistant and strong. I've got to figure out where these go. But to get the rails out, you just undo these clips here. Probably need to undo this screw here to make it move outwards, and then the same on the other side. So there are a couple of screws under here too. Take them out, and then of course the ones on the corners. Now that whole piece just comes straight out. Now we should just be able to slide everything out. Next you need to remove these screws, and this is like a nut, but it's just a rounded piece. They're on the corners here, so if they come out, it should allow you to slide off the panels, because they prevent this piece from going past that one. It sort of catches onto there to make them close up together. Alright, so this one here sort of makes a bit more sense. That round piece is meant to have, obviously, this piece of plastic that surrounds it, and that's what actually moves the piece along. So again, these are all being disintegrated. I should be able to make that, or just use a larger nut. Alright, so that rail went in okay. The only thing I had to do was just file the edge of this pin here, just to make sure it fits in.
Set.
Yep, press the button. Okay, so I've got the bracket that holds the little stopper piece. So it attaches onto here. So this is what it looks like. It actually goes that way like that, but screwed onto the other side. And what that does, the spring, that little piece there, moves in on the spring. You'll notice on the actual side bars there is a little indentation there. So that piece travels along, and when the sunshade is in the closed position, it sort of sits right there, and then it makes it like lock into position. So that's the purpose of that. So I 3D printed that myself, and I've got the design up on Thingiverse if you need to download that and print it. Alright, so I ended up 3D printing these little stopper pieces as well. I've put the files up for these up on Thingiverse, so if you search Sambar, you'll find them. What I actually needed to do is after it's printed, I'll drill a hole through the middle with a 4.5mm drill bit. And then you can reinsert that brass piece for the nut to attach. It sort of does hold itself in there. Okay, so we'll just get them attached and then start getting it put back together. I've been struggling to find these trim clips in the right colour, so I just got the black ones and then painted them. Okay, so we have got everything back together now. I've got all the headliner back on. I just need to put a few trim clips in different places, but I'll do that once they have dried. That works great now. Alright, so I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching my videos.